What's up, friends? Welcome to my channel, Collecting is Fun, where I show you that collecting is fun. And in this one, I have something that people have been looking for. They've been looking for this one since it was announced that Robert Downey Jr. was coming back to the MCU. And they were under the impression that he was going to come back as possibly, if they said he was going to be a villain, it's like, oh, it's possibly going to be what? Superior Iron Man, maybe? Or when they found that he was going to be Dr. Doom, that he was going to be possibly, oh, I don't know, a Iron Man version of Dr. Doom, something like Superior Iron Man, something of that nature. Then they found out, okay, no, it's not Iron Man at all. It's just Dr. Doom. And so people thought, like I saw on some channel or comment section somewhere, someone said people are going to be looking for this figure and it's going to go sky high. The price for this figure is going to go sky high. Well, I found this at Ross. $6. And when it came out, yes, it was $24.99, $25. This is a Build-A-Figure. And this is one of the annoying ones. You know, when you have the Build-A-Figure that Marvel Legends was doing, Hasbro was doing. This is the Marvel Zabu Build-A-Figure wave here. And as you see, he doesn't have anything to build Zabu with, right? You've got all 6 of these. And the only one I have of this, or the only two, well, I guess the only one in this 6 is Cable. That's the only person I have. I think I have, well, I have his leg. I know I have that. So I think that's up for grabs for anybody who wants that. I think somebody was looking to see if they can get, like, I don't know, whatever kind of pieces they can get to create him without having to buy all these figures. And I don't have none of those. And then here you have with this one. They usually do this in the Build-A-Figure wave. They get you just an extra one in there. And you don't really need him, but I mean, sometimes like you want him, but then, you know, it's a whole thing. But anyway, this is him. And apparently, you know, he went evil in the comics. I didn't read this particular comics. And as you see, he's supposed to be chrome, but they have him white. Like, what's that about? Like, is he supposed to be the white Vision, or is he supposed to be the chrome Iron Man? Chrome. Look at that. Chrome. Why? So, apparently, psychic fallout from a battle with Red Skull leaves Iron Man a changed man, causing havoc among humanity in symbiote-infused armor. So, apparently, he was, like, going evil, becoming really a maniacal maniac and all of that, and he was controlling apps of some sort, and apps that would, like, make you look good or what have you, and you would basically cease to look good unless you continue to pay him. So, it was a subscription to look good on your phone or what have you. It was a bunch of other stuff. Like I said, I didn't read it. Not really interested in it, but I was interested in getting a different Tony Stark, an evil version of him. And, again, it was a sought-after figure, and, I mean, I don't have an evil version of Tony. That's an interesting thing. Still trying to diversify the collection, so this is kind of cool. An evil Iron Man, great. You know, you kind of want to have villains with your heroes, right? You don't want to have the heroes always fighting against each other. Captain America fighting against Iron Man? No, how about Captain America fighting against this Iron Man? That's kind of cool. Right. So this is something. We'll take out the packaging and we're going to talk more about this thing. And you see what it has. $25. You get a head, 2 hands, and these effects here, which of course should come standard with every Iron Man, just like Spider-Man's web whipping. So I'm going to open them up and we're going to talk a little bit more, because this one is going to be more of a movie talk video here. I'm going to talk a little bit and show you about the figure, but I'm definitely going to talk more about the movies and the state of the MCU and what I believe they were trying to do when they got Robert Downey Jr. back. So stick around. Okay, so here he is out of the packaging, and you know, he looks attractive. Honestly, it's an attractive looking figure. I do wish he was silver. I do wish he was chrome, because that will look a whole lot better. But he is a bit of an eye catcher. You know, you get that light hitting him just right. I mean, it's white, so I mean, it's got that pearl white to him, porcelain white to him, and it looks cool. I like the, you know, the highlights here with the blue, the light blue here, electric blue, whatever you want to call it, and this blue in this circle here, blue with the eyes and the face mask. That's nice. I can dig this. It's cool. And of course, he has the fist with the texture on the hand. Yep. And he's got, of course, the right hand, same thing. Nothing too special, nothing too snazzy. These here, we've seen these a bunch of times. You know, pick them, any one of these out of any one of your Iron Man figures, out of one of the accessories that you have from any other Iron Man, whether it's blue, it's fiery red, anybody. It doesn't even have to be from Iron Man. There are so many other figures that have these right here. And then you have this here, which we'll focus in on. You see that evil looking Tony where his eyes are white, almost look like he is zombie controlled, right? This is really wicked, and this is a nice look. I don't see you being able to put this on any other figure, right? It's just him with this white, casing over his face, but it's a cool look, to put them on his body, and he can just look like himself, talk without the mask, and then he's get into battle mode, and then he'll be in this thing, right? Just pop the head off. So we will pop the head off, but I do want to talk about like what I believe the MCU was doing when they got Iron Man or they got Tony Stark back. So some people were saying that MCU was desperate. They were desperate because they got Tony Stark, or excuse me, I keep saying that, Robert Downey Jr. and they got some other folks. They were talking about getting Chris Evans back, and folks were saying, "Oh, they're desperate. They're desperate for a win." And then I was listening to John Campea. Oftentimes I listen to him about movie news, movie talk, and all of that. And he was like, "No, they're not desperate." And I'm like, "Boy, stop. Okay, dude, stop. Yes, they are desperate." And here's why I say this: it's because the MCU hadn't had a solid win in movies in a long time. Since Daredevil, I keep saying Daredevil, but Deadpool and Wolverine, they haven't had a solid win since that movie. Every other movie after Endgame has been just lackluster and I guess, right? The Marvels was a failure, right? Guardians of the Galaxy 2, when they brought James Gunn back, it was okay, it was cool, it was gory, it was the whole Traumaville style movie where he came from. He came from the Traumaville stuff, right? So he put some of that stuff in there. It was kind of weird. He also did some of the same stuff in Blue Beetle, because he was part of that in DC. So that is weird stuff. And then let me see. What else did they have? There were some other movies that they had that just were not good, man. It just did not work out. So basically, it was the end game, right? Everything ended, and all the other movies were just filler. Filler movies leading you up to what's going to happen next. You had Ant-Man 3 in there, like, oh, okay, right? And then you have, of course, the shows. The shows were also filler leading up to what's going to happen next. You had, WandaVision, and then you had Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. All of this stuff was leading up to what we have here now, or what we're about to get. And I said from the very beginning, after Endgame, the next thing they have to focus on that's actually going to be worth our while is going to be the X-Men movies and Fantastic Four. X-Men and Fantastic Four were the only two properties I was going to be looking forward to, and that was it. And we see it right here, right now, it is unfolding. The only project that people are really looking forward to is Fantastic Four. I mean, X-Men is going to be a part of the Doomsday deal with the Avengers 4 or whatever, but it's the Avengers 4, is it 4 or 5? Either way, the next Avengers movie with Doctor Doom. Still, we are looking for what's going to happen to the Fantastic Four, the first family of Marvel. And the big bad. What's the big bad? Who is the big bad? Is it going to be Doom? It doesn't matter if he's the big bad or not. We are looking for a good MCU Doom. And who do they get? They got none other than the person that they started the MCU with. Now, I'm not talking about how we wouldn't have the MCU because of Blade. No, I'm talking about now that we have the MCU, who they used to start the thing off. And who did they use? They used Robert Downey Jr. They took a chance on him. He had cleaned himself up way before he became Iron Man, before they hired him. They took a chance on this character because they didn't know if it was going to work out. And what happened? History was made. Iron Man was a huge success, and the MCU was born. It was so good that you didn't even have to give us trailers for the movies. It got to the point that we were so invested that all you had to do was say, it's coming out this month. And we're like, all right, I'm there. Show me some production photos, a poster, whatever, and I'm good. And at the most, you can show me one trailer. But I don't need trailer 2, trailer 3. I don't need TV spots. Just say, this is the one trailer. Thank you. And it's going to be on this day. And we'll be there. That's all we had. We were so invested because it was so good. It started with Robert Downey Jr., right? And then, of course, some other folks are in there. I mean, it's sad. It's a sad shame that even some of the folks that are still here, we're not really looking at them. No one's looking at Chris Hemsworth, Thor. It's a messed up situation. Now, Loki, though, Loki was good. Loki season 2 was great. It was excellent. It gave us some good stuff. And then, of course, you have the Jonathan Majors deal with Kang. They didn't know what they were going to do with Kang. Kang was almost like an experiment. Kang could have been a big bad. Maybe they had no clue. But then when Jonathan Majors got in trouble, they stayed with him as long as they could. They really did. Some folks say they did him dirty. Well, no, not really. They stayed with him as long as they could legally. And it's like, Lord, we can't keep putting this thing on hold. We got to continue our story. You understand? We got a job to do. So they're like, hey, we'll put Kang on the back burner and maybe we'll bring him back or something. But they needed somebody that the folks were going to come to the movies to see. Dr. Doom. Who's going to play him? So this is what they did. They started off with Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. got this thing going. They said, hey, how can we piggyback or how can we get that same success? What did we start off with? What did we do to get the success that we had before? Because this is a new start. This is a new start of a storyline that we're actually going to be interested in. Sam Wilson, Captain America, can't do it. He's not the one that's going to help lead us and get us interested. The young Avengers that they're bringing in, they're not going to want to do it. I mean, or they're not going to be the ones to do it. Who? It has to be somebody that we're familiar with. Well, that's what they're thinking. And this villain has to be, a home run. So they said, hey, let's get somebody that we trust, that we know that can pull it off. Robert Downey Jr. He started it. He ended it with Endgame. And now he's coming back to breathe new life into the MCU. He is basically their savior, their Jesus, if you want to say, for the MCU. Some said that was Ryan Reynolds with Deadpool and Wolverine, but you can't use Deadpool. Deadpool is not, marketable like that, like Robert is and like the other characters for the MCU. You can't do that. So if anything, it was like Ryan Reynolds is Paul. Hugh Jackman, he's part of the X-Men series, so he's back, right? So who knows what he's going to be doing when the Fox X-Men shows up. He's going to be doing it. So he's like Peter, and Robert Downey Jr. is like the second coming. Some of these references may not match, but you understand what I'm trying to say. Here we are with the second coming of Robert Downey Jr. to breathe new life into the MCU. That's what I'm trying to say. So yes, they are desperate. They're desperate for a win, and they're trying to get it with the person that they first started with, the first person that they got a win with, and now it's him. So it makes sense. So yeah, it's okay to say they're desperate. Why not? Right? So let's go ahead and take a look at this figure, man. I've actually looked online and saw that you can actually get this on Amazon for like $20-something. It hasn't gone up too high. It's still the same price of 20-something. So I don't know if it ever got high or not, but here we are. So, but it's pretty articulate. It's got the thigh swivel, that's nice and loose, or it's free. There you go, not restricting. And there it is. It's got some good articulation on this. I do appreciate that. See that? Like he's free falling. That's cool. Free falling Iron Man. I mean, you can do some nice things with this. This is a very articulate Iron Man. Honestly, this is pretty cool. Can't do a sidekick for nothing, but it's just okay sidekick. But this is a nice. Got to hold this. This is Brazil, or this is Stark Industries pose. I do like the aesthetics here, the design here. I do like all of that. And everything works nicely and well per Hasbro. They're giving you double jointed elbows and knees. He can't really, pose that well because of it's realistically, if you want to have somebody in an iron suit, an armored suit, you're not going to have that much mobility, but this is pretty good right here. At least he can get up to his head, his ear, his thumb to his ear, or his, I guess he hears out of that. I'm not sure, or a sensor. So this is absolutely a cool looking figure if you're not expecting him to be a chrome dome like he's supposed to be, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and we know how this works, but let's just go ahead and do this. Let's put it in, see if it fits. Yes, it does. Fits nicely. Let's put this one in here too. And there you go. Boom. So he looks really cool, like he's flying. Yeah, I like that. That's a cool look. What can we do with the head? The head can't go too far up. We don't need to change the hands out. I mean, I doubt I'm going to use that. I'm pretty much just going to have his hands out like this, even though you can probably put some type of repulsor blast in here. Yeah, there too. See? So just grab any of these, and you can put them in his hands and his feet. But his head doesn't go too far. Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's okay. All right, but we're going to take his head off. It should be easy. Hasbro don't usually give you problems when you take their heads off. That big old ball joint there. There you go. Snug. Boom. There you go. Evil, maniacal Tony. Then some people actually had the theory of saying that he was never Tony Stark. He was never the real Tony Stark. He was always Dr. Doom. I can't stand those theories where people just reach for anything. It's crazy. I know, man. It's fun to pontificate. But sometimes, man, you just got to, look, chill out. Whole videos about this, about something that just makes absolutely no sense. Chill out with that. But this guy looks good. I'm glad to have him. For $6, yes. For $20, I was like, nah, I'm good. Why? Because he's not chrome. But for $6, we can make it work. I don't know if anybody's out here customizing this guy, but for me, he's just going to be just like this. Just like that. Put him on a flight stand or what have you and work it out. So, yeah, that's me. That's what I'm thinking that what Disney Marvel is doing. I believe the MCU is looking for that win, trying to catch lightning in a bottle yet again. They're going to get somebody who knows how to play complicated roles and who is pretty much a home run, right? That's him. And there's Robert Downey Jr. He is their true second coming right now. All right, then. The Fantastic Four looks good, but, we're not looking at Pedro Pascal going, oh, I got my faith in him. Yeah. The guy who's playing Benjamin J. Grimm, like, I guess, we don't know. We have no clue of what's going to happen here. We have no faith, true faith in Marvel, MCU right now. So they're trying to get us to get that faith. And basically when the Fantastic Four hits, we're all going to be focused on what is he going to do? What is Dr. Doom going to do? What is Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom? What is he going to do? Is he going to be Latvian? Is he going to have an accent? All of that stuff. What is he going to do? He can do accents. Just don't let him do that Dr. Doolittle accent he did because nobody knew what he was doing on that one. But this man can do it. He's diverse enough. He's versatile enough. That's where the eyes are going to be. They need that win. That's why they got him. So that's the end of the video. I hope you watched the entire thing. If you did, thank you so much. Let's talk about it if you want to. If I am wrong about this, let me know. Hold this video. Save it. And come back to me if I am wrong about any of this stuff. Okay? Let me know. And let's talk about this thing because that's what I think. I think that they needed this win and they got him. Maybe somebody else will change their mind. Maybe they'll, I don't know. Maybe they'll agree. Maybe they'll disagree. I don't know. But that's what I believe. They got him for that main purpose of let's go ahead and get the same person that we won with the first time and do it again with this new rebirth of the MCU. As I stated before, we're only going to be caring a whole lot about X-Men and Fantastic Four, and everything else was pretty much just filler. Pretty much just filler. And you have to build a story. You have to build a world. You get it, right? It's okay. Sometimes filler's okay. You have to build. But they weren't really building it too good. And they weren't really keeping us interested that well. So they really need this rebirth, so to speak, of the MCU. All right, guys. That's it. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Have fun collecting because collecting is fun. Later days.